Welcome back to Ronin Theatre Collaborative's official podcast, Upstaged.
Woo.
You can't see me because it's a hassle to get properly set up. I am here with Angelica Howland, Lilly Norton, Bendi Donnel, and Amy Searcy.
You got it.
Oh, thank God.
Only after the third show we did.
I'm not a Russian novel character. I don't just refer to people by their last names, go like, yes, it is person, middle name, last name, familial name. So, Selfies team, how are you all feeling? We open tomorrow.
Yay.
Excited.
I'm excited.
Really excited, yeah.
Is it all right if we have everybody just introduce their character and only share as much as you feel comfortable with? Sure. If you want to lie, fine. People will see the show. Amy, starting with you.
All right. I'm playing Finola. She's the matriarch of a 100-year-old vampire family. And
That was a lie.
I was living for it. I was like, keep going.
I was like,
Finola,
backstory.
Yeah, Finola has brought her here to give her something from her mother. We're going to leave it at that.
All right, a gift from beyond.
Yes.
Okay. And I'm playing Aidan. Aidan has just lost her mother. She is susceptible to questionable influences.
It's just a gift.
It's just a gift, just a simple inheritance. Bendick?
I'm the delivery man for the gift.
Delivery man for the gift.
Exactly right.
I love that.
Yes, the delivery man, everybody's favorite Vince Vaughn vehicle.
Yeah.
Where he plays a sperm donor with too many children, based off of the French film Starbuck. Why is it called that? Don't know. And Angelica, you are, of course, director, playwright. So what inspired you for Selfies? What Irish myths, legends?
Selfies is a mashup of The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde and the Hellfire Club. So I've sort of mashed the stories together. I'm really interested in why clubs like that get started in the first place. I mean, it's bizarre. People just want to belong to something, and I think sometimes people want to be evil together. But it is the beginning. I would say that this play sort of goes towards the beginning of a Hellfire Club.
So if you were to expand this into like a 2-act play, a 5-act play, if you want to go very Shakespearean, this would be like the beginning of the play?
Yes, this would be Act 1.
That would actually be
It would be really cool.
This is why I'm here. I am not just the marketing director. I am also the assistant artistic director. It's like, we have more seasons coming up if you want to pitch.
right.
Oh, that's interesting to think about. How would I expand this?
Well, we talked about last year's show, expanding last year's show. Angelica and I also worked together on a ghostly curse for last year's Haunted Castle. And after the show or during the show, we kind of discussed like where the story could go from there. And so it's not uncommon to have those thoughts.
No, it's not. And I thought about it for a while. I thought about having John and Nick, after she gets out of prison, she comes to find John, and maybe John is dead. And she's talking to his ghost. I don't know. Maybe.
Kind of like Sixth Sense.
I didn't see it all.
We also have Haunted Castle Season 3 coming up, so feel free to use this is why you got to go every year. There's a continuous storyline.
There would be sequels to each one. Like if you guys start doing it over and over again, that would be very cool.
All right. How long have we been in rehearsal for this show?
When did we start?
I don't know, so long ago.
started
End
in-
of September.
End of September,
End of September.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, mid-September and so.
I guess that is the
I think maybe.
benefit of
Yeah, it's
doing
right.
a 10 to 15 minute show because it doesn't require a lot of rehearsal time. Do you wish you had more rehearsal time ever, or is there something to where the brevity of it helps the piece, in your opinion, or your performance?
Only to hang out with them, really.
Yeah.
I don't think the piece needs more rehearsal time.
No, we were definitely ready to get into the space and start having an audience, I don't know, like a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it helps, the biggest thing was to just really work, there's a lot of physicality in the show. So working that more than necessarily just running the show is just making sure that we have all that dialed in. And
Yeah.
Ben has been wonderful. Ben is our fight coordinator.
I have been blessed with wonderful movers.
Yes. And / intimacy coordinator, is that you, Angelica? Are you in?
We kind of I
It's
think,
all very collaborative.
I think this has been a very
Yeah.
collaborative process. I really like, once I write something and I'm ready to workshop it or ready to hear it out loud, I really love the input of the actors who are creating each character. You know, I want each character to be infused with their voices. Otherwise, it's just my voice on the page. And I can't really write outside of my voice. I can create characters, but I can't write outside of my own life experience. So I love getting actors in to read my work, and then I get even more ideas. I mean, these guys helped me polish this piece so much. We added lines, we took away lines. I love to hear it out loud.
Yeah.
Do you think there is now more exposition or less exposition?
Tighter. Tighter exposition. Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely.
But
And
not too much. I mean, it was pretty solid when we got it. There was just a few little tweaks she made with some of the lines, added a few, took away a few.
Remember like 3 or 4.
Yeah, not too many.
I was like, you know what, you're conveying that with your body, with your voice, whatever, we don't need to spell it out for them. Or we do need, I think, just an extra word here to spell it out a little bit more.
Yeah, so it wasn't much.
And have you all worked together before? Bendi, Amy, you and I just did Klingon Hamlet together. Bendi, you were in Angelica's show last year.
That
but
makes me the newbie.
yeah. Lilly, as the one person I don't know, what are you doing here?
How did you get into this?
I don't know. I lost a few months and then I woke up and I was here. No. I actually have known Amy for a little while through our partners, our business partners. But for this, I just got the email saying, hey, we're doing this thing. Would you like to send in a tape? And I did. And I'm so grateful that I not only got in, but got in this play. Yeah, specifically.
I get a text. I was at a work vacation and I had just gotten, Angelica just given me the part. And then I get a text from Lilly, we're in a play! I'm like,
It finally happened.
it was like so random. I haven't talked to her in a while and I get this random text and she's like, you said we're in the haunted castle. I'm like, oh, cool. And I'm like, are you in Selfies? She's like, yes! So it was very cute.
There's always that fun, bit of subterfuge that happens when you're first cast in a show and your friends are also in the parts. And it's like, were you cast? Or can you say? Because I either can't tell you if I have been cast or not.
Well, she must open her emails.
She was on the welcome email, yes.
Yeah, she must open her emails much faster than I do because she did the exact same thing for The Broken Age.
I did.
I get this all caps text from her. She's like, "We're in another show together."
The one right after this. So.
With literally our sister company, Space 55. The Broken Age, written by John Perovich. Is there anything you want to share about that since it is coming up?
I don't know if they want us.
I don't know if they want it. We haven't even had the first read through yet.
Very well.
So
Keep it hush
We'll keep it on
hush.
the down low.
Yeah,
We're good.
understood. Well, in this play, there is this inheritance that is being shared. How do you approach, coming up with backstories for your characters? Is it a lot of running things through Angelica, or is there some level of whatever works? How did you come up with your backstories for your characters?
Well, Angelica was great. We did the first read through. We talked a little bit about our characters, and then the next couple of rehearsals, she really helped us drill down. Especially with my character, there were a lot of details that needed to be filled in for why she's doing what she does, things like that. So, she asked us a lot of questions and would help us if we needed assistance coming up with something. So that was my experience with it. I don't know about you guys.
We do a lot of just table work, sitting down and talking about stuff, going over the lines, trying to either dig up the stuff that's already there and kind of ruminate on what does it mean though, and if there's not a clear answer and Angelica has just left it open to interpretation, then we just start to kind of string out from there.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love, that you're really open to what ifs. So if we were talking about it and well, what if she actually had such and such going on? And that's interesting, let's talk about it. And a lot of times that stuff ended up being part of the performance, which is really nice.
And Angelica, for this play, I know you said you were inspired by Picture of Dorian Gray. You were also inspired by the story of the Hellfire Club. What was the first image that came to your mind when you were devising this piece?
I thought a lot about how our society is we tend to worship youth and beauty rather than wisdom. And I thought a lot about that. And I also thought a lot about the women that we see, celebrities that we see, women that I see out in the world, and how hard they're fighting to stay young. And the crazy things that some people do to stay young. You know, I mean, there are actors out there that you see that you're like, I think I know that actor, but you're not sure, and then you go and you look it up and you're like, holy shit.
You can cuss, it's
Well, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
What did they do to their face?
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about Jennifer Grey? This was the okay, listen, I was mostly raised by my grandparents. Both of my parents worked, so it was just like, oh, free free daycare, great. Came with cult initiation. That was the whole thing, but...
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to sit down and have a conversation.
Absolutely.
Different podcast.
Different podcast. But, you know, I was just inundated with a lot of, like, 80s pulp culture, and so they would always tell me, like, oh, you know, Jennifer Grey, we loved her, and then she got a nose job, and it just ruined something for her. And it's like, that's weird. That's weird that just, like, a cosmetic choice would somehow derail her career, but at least that's what comes up for me when I hear things like the lengths people will go to. And it's never men who quite get as much the blowback of like, oh yeah, they had a lot of work done, and it just doesn't.
Even though it does happen with men as well,
Absolutely.
I think that women get the hammer more often than men do, absolutely.
Well, oh God, I just really want to say something very petty, but I can't remember the actor's name. He's in Diner, popular 80s character actor. He was in Iron Man 2 as the villain, the wrestler.
Mickey Rourke.
Ricky Rourke. Yeah.
Mickey Rourke. Yeah, when I saw Diner and then I saw Iron Man 2, I was like, Mickey, what happened?
He also had a major car accident.
Oh,
I
okay.
think some of
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
reconstructive.
Let the record show I apologize to Mickey Rourke, who is also a professional boxer in Russia. Now, whether or not these are staged bouts from the Putin government, I do not know. But
Just dig that hole.
yeah, I'm just digging. I'm grave digging. It's the season for it. But yeah, when you're devising these characters, like, what goes through your mind of, like, how do you connect with someone who may be very different from you? Like, I know there's always that universal thing of, like, you know, we all have needs, but some of us may be playing fantastical creatures, and some of us may be playing just the most...
Delivery guys.
No, he's the postman who always rings twice, right? This is a sequel to that?
Oh my God, we should have put you in a postman outfit.
Oh,
Like
missed
Legally Blonde,
opportunity.
yeah.
Locked
I've
in.
got a package.
We could have done so many Legally Blonde jokes.
The UPS guy.
We could appeal to so many high schools who are always doing Legally Blonde, including my senior year of high school from 12 years ago.
Oh my God.
Anywho,
So
so
package joke would change it, but maybe not that
No,
much.
not that much.
Like-
Not really.
Not really.
Not
Yeah.
our scenes.
Hence
Yeah.
the intimacy coordination we mentioned.
Yeah.
intimacy coordination and fight choreography, we put them in the same category, and I guess they're just two ends of one spectrum where
Right,
things can go very right or very wrong.
Exactly.
Sometimes right next to each other.
Right, yeah, that is
Absolutely.
true.
So, but how do you center yourselves as actors for the roles you are playing? Again, without giving too much away, I know that that's a very loaded question.
Well, especially you mentioned like fantastical creatures or fantastical characters, and that can be kind of difficult. I mean, sometimes there is established folklore for what these characters are motivated by, or like historically, mythologically, what they're motivated by, or what they tend, what sort of actions they tend towards. So there's that to draw from. And then, like we said earlier, just kind of like spinning out, like, well, what if he was motivated by this? What if he was more motivated by that? Like, character is driven by motivation. So it's just like, why are you the way that you are? Well, what do you want? And how do you get that? What are your tactics for getting there? There are differences to a fantastical character, and then there's a lot of similarities. Like, it's still a personality and what drives it.
Well, I think that we can talk about, because, I mean, your character is called the demon. So the delivery man is a demon.
Yeah, to be fair, we've also put that on all the marketing.
If you're only a fan of the podcast,
Yeah, so we can talk about the demon, because some of the myth behind him and the things that we talked about in rehearsal. Is it Balor or Balor?
I believe it's Balor.
Balor. So we talked about the demon Balor, who was the king of the Formians?
It's Formians.
Formians.
Thank you.
Yes.
And we talked a lot about where he came from. You know, they are the demons of chaos and deep, dark water. And we did talk about the mythology of demon history and demon lore in order to give Ben the kind of motivations and the kind of movements that he had. He had texted me and we had gone back and forth, and I had said, full disclosure, I want this demon to be like a roiling, slithering, suddenly one moment and then the next moment to just be like feeling out his human body and, you know, this body that he took. So we've had a lot of fun creating that. Yeah, we've had a lot of fun creating the lore behind this particular demon.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun to watch. Like, watching your run through yesterday, I was like, oh, I mean, Bendi is always compelling, but it was just like, yeah, the skin looks new. I don't know how to describe it. It's like Papa's got a new pair of shoes and it's skin. But Amy, I think Finola never gets named in the play. At least
No, she doesn't.
I don't.
Aidan
I
didn't
thought-
until like
no.
yesterday, or until last week.
Until the tech.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, very realistic. We don't just introduce ourselves, so
Especially when you're known.
Yeah.
except in an interview format where we have to be like, we have to establish this person is
It's
this.
true. We only mention your mom
Yeah,
by name. Yeah.
What is the mom's name? And do we have any guesses? Because I want to see.
It's in the script.
That's
It is in the script.
Yeah,
The absent mom
Yeah.
is
Said it
in
a
the
couple of
script.
times,
Name
yeah.
your name.
Oh, damn it! I wasn't-
Her name is Erin.
So I want to apologize to the cast, to Angelica, for not catching that the name is Aidan. We're in the Irish Cultural Center, so I guess my brain was just like pairing it out
To
of
be
like
fair,
Ireland.
I only say it
Ireland
once.
is Aidan.
I
Yeah.
only say it
Well,
once.
it's very
Rinny
much on
after that.
purpose,
It's
too.
Rinny.
It's very much on purpose that Erin is named.
Yeah.
Because she's the reason
Yeah.
that Aidan is here. I don't always don't say the names of the characters in my plays.
I like it.
Because we don't. Actually, I had a director who said, after one of my very early scripts, said, I want you to go through your script and take out every single extraneous name. Because we don't speak to each other
Yeah.
that way. I don't always say, well, Amy, let's talk about how you are. We don't speak that way.
Yeah.
And that's one of the best pieces of advice I've ever gotten about playwriting.
Yeah.
The name is at the beginning of the script, in the cast list. It's in the program, or it's at the end credits. So you don't really need to shout the name from the rooftops.
Especially with a small cast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one thing if there were 30 of us on stage or whatever, doing people's names, but
I mean, that is true. It is only a 15-minute play. We don't need to hang on to it
Yeah.
for so long. And it's going to be in programs, so that's going to be good. So this play involves this form of inheritance in the way the mom is, at least according to my reading from when I was watching it and having read the script a few times. Again, more embarrassing that I didn't pick up that the mom's name is Erin. Again, that's on me. But she does kind of haunt the play.
Yeah.
Just the absence, again, it is the catalyst for why this is happening. Lilly, when you're playing the daughter who is walking into unforeseen circumstances, did you have any inspirations that you were coming from? Could be other performances, could be life experience. Again, only as much as you're comfortable sharing. Have you ever inherited something? Do you have generational wealth? And if so, do you have more room in your will?
Would I be wearing overalls if I did? No, yeah, that's actually true. No, actually, the strangest bit of inspiration I took, especially because she and I spend the most time together and have the most, this relationship that we've had for however long in my life. I was actually thinking about my mom's friends. My mom has a circle of very close friends, and I was thinking about the ways in which they were other moms to me, like the ways in which I trusted them or didn't in some cases, and what would it be like having lost my mother, this foundational part of my life, and having somebody in a relative position of trust ask me to do a series of increasingly strange
Weird
things.
shit.
How far would I trust her?
Yeah.
What would it feel like when I couldn't anymore?
Yeah.
So I had that in mind a lot as we go.
That's really lovely.
Oh.
And Amy, have you ever had to deliver an inheritance?
No, I have not.
Certainly not one like
But
this.
it's it's very different with Finola. She's very singular in her purpose, and trying to be somebody she's not to accomplish her goal. So it's an interesting play for the character to, someone that Finola has known her whole life, but may or may not have really gotten to know all that well. Know her, but not know her. Really what drives her, because it becomes clear as the play goes on, she doesn't really know what drives her.
Not a bit.
So it's really, it was a fun play of saying one thing, being another thing, having this ulterior motive that she's trying to accomplish.
If it wouldn't give too much away, does Finola think she's doing the right thing?
Finola thinks she's doing the right thing for Finola,
Yeah.
which is all that matters to Finola.
That's a great answer.
That's the question.
Yeah. She's doing the right thing for herself.
And Bendi, for the delivery man.
The demon. It's in the
For the
program.
demon, I
It's in the
know.
program.
But I know, but it's also fun
But
saying,
now
sure, I
you're
bring it to the
the delivery man.
For the demon, how do you play the stakes of an ethereal creature? Because I know we've already talked about, you have to find those motivations, and that informs the tactics you are picking and how you are playing it. But how do you play something that is so supernatural and do you try to make it relatable in a way, or do you play more into just that other reality of they are so otherworldly?
I think a little bit of both, because we've talked about the demon kind of shifting back and forth, and that was a big thing physically, kind of going back and forth between having control of the body and kind of losing control of the body, or moving differently than a human body would, and then that started to kind of inform the voice and inform the kind of character through the piece. So there are definitely moments that are a little lighter, and there are moments that are a little darker. And I think some of that goes into those motivations you're talking about too, where some of it is in the moment, we're mining the moment, we're enjoying the moment, we're enjoying what is happening right there. It's its own reinforcement. And then by the end of it, it's really whether or not I get this one thing I was going for, I'm going to get something. So while this would have been really, really good, I'm in a position where I'm going to get something no matter what. So there are definitely moments, like I said, in the moment, it's oh, this is good, I'm gonna get it, this is that, this and that. And then other times, if it wasn't going so well, then it could be more of, let's just wait and see. Let's wait and see. But either way, it's gonna be good either way.
Yeah.
It's just a level of going to Hawaii or going to Hawaii first class.
Oh, that makes sense to me. I also need to mail a letter to a debt collector after this of just hey, can I get that bill annotated?
Or else.
Yeah. You get work done. You know, I say this from my own personal experience of like I got septoplasty done earlier this year, and it's like I finally paid all that off. But I still need to pay the doctor who recommended me to go to the septoplasty because they didn't run it through my insurance. But that is a private issue anyway. So I'm totally on Finola's side in all of this. I'm just like, you do what you gotta do.
Well, in demon time, I think any kind of time that is on a different plane is time that we can create.
Yeah.
You know, the way we have created his idea of time is completely different than our earthly idea of time. Yeah. So it's not that I think a demon can sit back and be like, whatever happens, but time works differently in my lore.
Mm-hmm. So Angelica, how long did it take you to write this play, and were there any other Irish myths you were considering?
Well, I started off with just Hellfire Club. And then we found out that one of our friends at ICC really wanted to see a Dorian Gray shift into something. So after I met with her, I was like, oh, that actually would be really fun. That would be a really fun mashup. And honestly, I was struggling with Hellfire Club. The minute I got the Dorian Gray suggestion, it wrote itself. So I went home from that meeting here in the basement to look at the basement. I went home from that meeting with Kiara and wrote it in 2 hours.
Wow. Holy cow. Wow. Okay, well, I'm very jealous.
Hey, it doesn't always happen.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't always happen that way. Sometimes when I'm writing something, if I get inspired to write something, the first thing I do is I go and I read everything I can find about that subject. And then characters will start to layer in my imagination. And then I'll read more. And usually I've done, a couple of weeks to several months of research before I sit down and I actually write the story. That's just my process. And usually I have most of the story in my head by the time I sit down. And then it's just about getting it on the page, and then it's about editing. This one was really fun. I've always really enjoyed the story of Dorian Gray. I think it's so fucked up. I mean, talk about vanity, and fear. Vanity and fear sort of just married in one person. And I found a lot of inspiration in that because I just think it bleeds through human nature. We all have fear of death. We all have fear of the unknown and what's going to happen when we die. And also the idea of getting old. I mean, I'm in my 50s, and that has been really interesting.
You are?
Yes.
That's what we all said.
Oh, that's so nice. No, I'm in my mid-50s.
So is this autobiographical?
Oh,
Do you have something you need to tell us?
Absolutely.
Kind of ageless.
Yeah, you are kind of amazing.
Oh, that's an interesting thing, though. When I was casting this, it was like, we need to get 2 young girls. And I was like, no, not 2 young girls. I need someone who's ageless. Because even if you have learned nothing from the time that you have been on the planet, you still have weathered life. So there's a huge difference between young and ageless. And we talked a lot about that. Finola is ageless. She is not young. And I think that's a really interesting thing. It's a really interesting as an actor to fall into. The idea that you've been around for a really long time and you've experienced this life, but you have not really learned anything of value for your soul. You still have learned things, whether they're good or bad.
Whether you use them or not.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Well, as we are wrapping up this interview, thank you again for meeting up with me and putting up with my eccentricities. What would you like the audience to walk away from as they are leaving the show? If they make it through the show, it is very frightening. But provided that they do that, what is something you're hoping they walk away from? Is there something you want them to think or something to feel, or just be generally feeling dread?
I love to write things that ask questions. So as an audience is walking out, they might be like, oh, that was so much fun, and I had such a great time with that, and I really love this character, but then they get in the car, and they go to dinner, or they go to a drink, and they're like, so let's talk about this. What did you think of how that happened? How do you feel about aging?
What would I do in that situation?
Yeah, what would I do if I had eternal youth? I love to let my audiences go away asking questions.
I am 29 years of age, so another decade is coming, and that scared me a lot before I did this. So my character has a really interesting turn, and I would just like people to leave not being afraid of whatever comes next
Oh, I love
for
that.
them as they move through life.
As someone who just turned 30, thank you. That does make me feel
Sorry,
better.
it's coming for me next September.
No, I was thrilled to turn 30 at last. I've only seen the first half of 13 going on 30, so I imagine it's nothing but tops.
Well, I'm not, and this has actually helped me a little bit with that, so.
Awesome. Bendi, any desires, dark or otherwise?
Don't meddle with things you don't understand.
Yeah, that's pretty good advice. And Amy?
For me, I personally love shows that make me feel uncomfortable at certain points where you're like, oh God, did they just do that? And I really hope people walk away from
Oh,
this.
we've
like,
definitely got
You guys definitely did that. I'm not giving anything away. It's,
And
yeah.
some of that, most of it, was her idea, so.
Was it?
Yeah, that
Pretty sure it was Angelica.
No, I'm the fucked up one.
There are just a lot of willing participants.
We went along with it. We enhanced it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You just had a lot of, oh, but what if then this happened? We were like,
I love that. That's how you remember.
am
We always ask permission. That's what has been so wonderful about this group is that we're always like, you good?
Yeah,
You good?
absolutely.
You
That was
safe?
really weird, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it cool? Cool, okay.
Can I touch you? May I touch you?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
all right?
Oh, you want me to really go for it? Okay.
Oh,
As long as we're like consenting to everything, that's the key thing.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And everyone is so
Absolutely.
good about checking
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
especially you and I. And you and I.
Yeah.
I mean, basically me and everybody in the cast.
Well,
Everybody.
we open tomorrow.
Yay!
Haunted Castle, October 23rd through October 30th. Tickets are already available. Everyone, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Boy.